So today is Friday, the 6th of June, 2025. It's a public holiday, but then the market is always moving, so we have to look at making money. So the market doesn't sleep, except on weekends. Today is Friday. Still have another opportunity to trade. And the other fact is that today is equally an important day in the forex market globally because we're going to be having a lot of volatility in the market today, which can lead to opportunity to make money. So regardless of the fact that it's a public holiday, hey, if you have an opportunity to make money, please do. And that is what PU Prime is offering you, today, even with this analysis. So we'll look at the fundamentals and then we'll check the technicals and we'll be able to analyze what to expect in the market today. Now, today is important, as I mentioned earlier, and is because today is the day for NFP. NFP stands for non-farm payroll or non-farm employment change, and is the biggest news in the forex market globally. Hundreds of thousands of traders do look out for this day to trade because of the volatility that will be released in the market. So NFP is going to come up by 1:30 p.m. today. You can see it right on the screen. I'm on my Forex Factory page. So we're having 5 events today. The first is actually from Canada, and that's the employment change and unemployment rate from Canada. Now that's Canada's own version of this news, of this employment news, employment change, unemployment rate, which will come up by 1:30 p.m. and it's going to run simultaneously with the average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate from the United States. So today, the most active instruments in the market today will be the United States dollar and the Canadian dollar. And the currency pair that connects both is actually the USD CAD. So expect a lot of volatility on the major currencies, especially even the USD CAD. But then that USD CAD is still subjective based on some market conditions. So if the data today comes out good, now our focus actually today is going to be the American dollar. We're not really going to focus much on the Canadian dollar. That doesn't mean we may not get volatility on it, but the focus is usually on the American dollar because that carries more weight. It carries more volatility compared to the Canadian dollar. So we're going to be trading the NFP, the average hourly earnings, non-farm payroll, and unemployment change. Now, this news, we trade it live. We have a practice of trading it live at PU Prime. If you checked out your WhatsApp group, you'll have started seeing flyers from yesterday, promoting this event. So by 1:15 p.m. today, you can see the news will be released by 1:30, but by 1:15 p.m., we're going to be live right here on PU Prime. So watch out, 1:15 p.m., around 1 p.m. thereabout, the link will be dropped. And by 1:15, you can join us live to trade this NFP. When we talk about live trading, what we mean is that we're going to come on Zoom live like this, and we're going to be giving you the analysis, what we expect to happen in that news, and most importantly, we'll also give you the live signal. The live signal will consist of the entry price, the take profit, and the stop loss. All this will come up between 1:15 and 1:25 p.m. thereabout. And by 1:30 p.m., the news will be released, and we'll watch as the market goes, most likely in line with our analysis. So just make sure you don't miss it. Don't miss this event. If your account is not well funded for this event, you can go ahead and reach out to your account manager and top up your account so that you can trade and make good money, with this particular news. So as I mentioned earlier, the news, the expectation rather, if the news comes out all good for the dollar, we'll be expecting a massive bullish movement on the United States dollar. If it's good, if the effect is that it's good for the dollar, the data will come up with a green color, and that will lead to massive bullish volatility on the dollar. And if on the other hand, the data all comes out bad for the dollar, then we'll be expecting a sharp, bearish movement on the dollar. Now, these are the best two scenarios to expect for this news. Everything good or everything bad, that will lead to volatility. But then it's possible that some of the data may conflict with one another because they are not all completely related like that. So if you have a scenario where maybe two comes out green, one comes out red, it may lead to some spike in the markets, or the one that have more of the green may buy, but with not as much volatility. So it's possible to have some green, some black, or some green, some red, some maybe two green, one red, two red, one green. That's possible. That could lead to a spike. And it's possible to have a scenario where maybe one will come out as black. When actual is greater than forecast means we're going bullish, actual less than forecast means we're going bearish. And we'll have actual equal to forecast. That can be sensitive. Some will say if actually is less than forecast, it means sell, but then there's no valid proof for that. Sometimes I would say if you have actual equal to forecast, maybe you just stay out and watch market reaction first, and then you can now use market sentiment to judge whether you should enter or not. That's my own personal view on that. But don't worry, we really got your PU Prime. We'll guide you, and that's why you need to attend this live session so that you are not going to be the one doing the thinking. We're doing the thinking for you. We're doing the analysis for you. We're presenting the signal to you. Yours is just to take the signal, that we drop in the group, and make sure you don't come in late. Because for some people, they start joining the session maybe 2 minutes to the release of the data. That will be too late. It's better you join exactly 1:15 p.m., listen and watch the analysis. And by the time we drop the signal, pick the signal immediately. Not that it's a minute to go, then you're trying to rush to place the signal. That may be a bit late. So, with that being said, let me go over to the chart. Let's see what to expect from the technical angle for this news event. Now, like I said earlier, we'll be putting a lot of attention on the dollar because that's what this NFP is all about. And if you have followed my analysis right from the beginning of the week, I've held a bullish outlook on the dollar. Why have I been bullish on the dollar? Now, this is the dollar index on the weekly time frame. And right from the beginning of the week, this instrument has been, you know, it's been trading at a support level. It's been actively trading at the support level on the weekly time frame. So we priced at the support level, then we are looking for a continuation, I mean a reversal rather, in the bullish direction. So technically we hold a bullish outlook on the dollar. And I said earlier the week also, all things being equal, this is also looks a lot like, sorry, I didn't draw that well. Looks a lot like we are having the formation of a double bottom pattern. Why do I see it as a double bottom? Double bottom is like letter W. And you can clearly see that this looks a lot like a letter W in formation while we're expecting the second leg to be complete. So it means that if the data, in terms of sentiment, it means we are bullish on the dollar. And if the data comes out good for the dollar, that is the fundamental comes out good for the dollar to support what we already have technically. Technically, price is trading at a support level. It's an indication of a bullish movement. So the fundamental matches what we are seeing technically, then that will drive price into the bullish direction. So we are bullish technically. We are bullish on the NFP data this afternoon due to what we're seeing on the chart. So we hold a bullish outlook. And due to that bullish outlook, we can check out the major currency pairs and see what to expect on these pairs. Now, firstly, I'll look at the USD CHF. This is the USD CHF. On the 4-hour time frame of the USD CHF price, already is forming a double bottom pattern. And the double bottom pattern again is a letter W. And you can see price is already trying to find its way up. So again, if the data comes out good for the dollar, we'll be seeing a sharp movement in the bullish direction on the double bottom. So that confirms what we're seeing on the dollar. And also, I'm also the one I'm putting my attention on mostly is actually the USD card. Now, this is very, very interesting. Now, on the USD card, let's start from the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame for the USD card, price has been trending. It's been in an uptrend for quite some time. And we can see that the current candle is just testing the higher low of the price segment we have here. We have a series of higher lows here. Price bouncing off on the third higher low. So here also we expect a reversal. So since we have a bullish outlook on the dollar, the data comes out good. We'll be looking at buying the USD card, but let's still drill down further. So we saw an uptrend on the weekly time frame. On the daily, you can see the candle that closed yesterday closed as a rejection candle where the tip is touching that same trend line. Let me make it bigger. Okay, you can see it, and that's also an indication of a reversal. When you have a rejection candle around a trend line or support or resistance, it can lead to market reversal. So this is still indicating a bullish movement on the daily time frame. So if you take it down to the 4 hour, this is the most interesting part of it. On the 4 hour time frame, this already is forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which technically is expected to drive price upwards. An head and shoulder pattern, sorry, inverse head and shoulder pattern, I mean. An inverse head and shoulder pattern is a bullish reversal pattern. It means price is reversing from downtrend to uptrend. And since we already have an uptrend outlook on the dollar, this is really supporting the pattern I'm seeing here is really supporting, that outlook. So if the data this afternoon comes out good for the dollar, we'll be looking at buying the USD card because of this inverse head and shoulder, which we're seeing on the 4 hour, coupled with a trend line bounce on the weekly and the rejection candle on the daily. So we're bullish on the USD card. We're bullish on the USD card. Now, the other question is, okay, what if the data comes out, bad for the dollar? Will the market go bearish? Of course, it may go bearish to retest this trend line, but afterwards, it will still find its way up. So the longer time direction is what we always focus on, which in this case is bullish. Any other direction outside of that, we may just ignore it and wait for price to still reverse back into our original direction, which is bullish in this instance. Now, if I want to drill this down further, I can still do that because I can still see the formation of a falling wedge, which gives further confirmation to this bullish breakout that we're expecting on the dollar. So either you're buying the USD CHF, the USD card, any one of it is good. But I think I will want to look a lot more at the USD card because of the confluence. So we're bullish on the USD card. We're bullish on the USD CHF. If you go and check the other dollar pairs to, converse direction, you will see that the Euro USD and the GBP USD, for instance, they are going to be expecting a bearish movement. This is AED USD. Can say AED USD closed yesterday at a resistance level with a rejection candle. This is the rejection candle on the AED USD. So we're expecting a downward movement on the AUD USD today as the dollar is going to buy. And similarly, the Euro USD too is expected to go bearish. So generally the sentiment around the dollar is a bullish one. The dollar is strong while the anti-dollar pairs are expected to go bearish. So at the NFP, we'll give you further confirmation about the specific instruments we want to trade, the entry price, the take profit, and the stop loss. Now, I also want to cite it. Please note, sometimes on NFP days like this in the morning, before the data, it's possible the market may go quiet. NFP week is also usually like that. If you observe right from the beginning of the week, there's been a lot of range in the market. Yeah, that happens because the market is preparing. All these countries are waiting for the release of the data from the United States. So the market can be a bit quiet or range, the week of the NFP or even on the NFP date before the release of the data. So if you're going to make any trade or place any trade this morning, I will advise you do it with a lot of caution because the major move for the day will come up when the NFP data is released in the afternoon. All right, so that's going to be all for now. If you have any question you want to ask, you can go ahead and post it in the comment section. I'm going to attend to you. Or you have any specific instrument you want me to analyze for you, just go ahead and drop it while we try to round up the session. And don't forget our 5X program, 5X challenge is on. You can reach out to your account manager to guide you on how to be a part of that, trading program. 5X is all about helping you grow your account to times five of whatever capital you have over a period of time. It's not a 1 month thing, it's over a period of time, and for those who are there already, you can testify that, we're dropping signals and you're profitable. It's actually a special signal platform, completely different from the former one we had. This one is more optimized to get you better results and make you more profitable. So if you're not yet a part of the 5X, you're really missing a lot. Reach out to your account manager. They'll guide you through on how to be a part of the 5X Challenge program. All right, so I don't think we have any question or any comments. In the absence of any, then we'll bring this analysis to an end. Like I said earlier, watch out by 1:15 p.m. today to be a part of our live trading session for the NFP. Don't miss it. If you want to top up our account, reach out to your manager. They will help assist you in getting funded to be a part of that session. Oh, okay. I'm seeing someone dropping stuffs here. Okay. You're welcome, Jasper. Okay, Amos is asking me to check gold and BTC. Equal Ambassador BCD, Roda Gold. Okay, Wisdom, you didn't get the last info. Which of the info? The 5X. If it's the 5X, concerning the 5X, yeah, you have an account manager. If you are a client with PU Prime, you automatically have an account manager. The account manager is that person who has called you from PU Prime. They will have called you, sent you a message privately at one time or the other. Reach out to that person. That's your account manager. Any inquiry you want to make about PU Prime, feel free to contact that individual. They will surely they will guide you through and give you all the necessary information on how to go about whatever inquiries you want to make. All right, so let's go to the requests. Gold, GBP, JPY, BTC, USD. Let's roll. So let me scroll and find whichever one comes first. All right, this is gold. Now, with all the bullish outlook on the dollar, from a technical perspective, now this is gold on the 4-hour time frame. From analysis on gold, I already have the rising wedge pattern forming. So if the dollar is bullish, then we may be having a bearish outlook on gold. This is purely technical. And if the fundamental comes out to support that same technical outlook, yes, gold will go bearish. So this is gold on the 4-hour. We have a rising wedge pattern. And from rising wedge pattern is a bearish reversal pattern. It means price is expected to reverse downwards to break out. So in the course of today, especially, I would say more especially as we approach the NFP, we might be expecting the bearish movement on gold. So if you are a gold trader, if there's any direction you want to trade on gold today, look out for more of the bearish, especially for the NFP. Especially for the NFP, look out for a bearish movement on gold, except if market conditions change between now and then. This is the FX market, anything can happen, except if the market condition changes. Otherwise, as at the time I'm doing this analysis, I have a bearish outlook on gold. Now for BTC USD, it's having an interesting setup, which I'm watching myself. I saw it last night, saw it again this morning. BTC is getting ready for some long-term kind of reversal. Trying to get it out. Okay, if I scroll now, if I can't find it, I'll need to open a fresh page. Okay, so let me get a fresh page out. All right, so this is BTC USD. This is the daily time frame. Okay, let's start from the weekly. Now, the weekly time frame price actually, if you have followed my analysis some weeks back, when price made its recent high on BTC, I said it then that price also, on this trend line, this higher high, it's made a series of higher high and it's touched the trend line. And technically, we expect some either a retracement or reversal. That was exactly what I said then. And you can see the last couple of candles in the last 2 weeks has been bearish on BTC. So it means we actually saw the kind of sell that I mentioned, either as a retracement or reversal. For those who are new to trading, retracement means a temporary movement of price against the established trend. All right. Now, aside from that trend line, there's also a resistance zone there right on the weekly time frame. So everything is pointing out to one thing, to a bearish movement on BTC. The trend line, the resistance, both are pointing to a bearish movement on BTC on the weekly time frame though. On the daily, this is where the main thing is. On the daily time frame, now we can now clearly see the formation of the shoulder. It had a second shoulder. Price broke the neckline region last night, or with the yesterday candle. Price broke the neckline region. Now, if you understand patterns, a head and shoulder pattern is a bearish reversal pattern. It means price is reversing from uptrend to downtrend. We can still also draw a trend line on both sides to give us a rising wedge pattern. So we have a lot of confluences pointing us to a bearish direction on BTC USD. On the weekly time frame, we have the trend line, the uptrend, we have the resistance. On the daily, we have the head and shoulder, we have the rising wedge. Four major powerful reasons to look out for a bearish movement on BTC USD. The neckline is broken. It's broken completely with the candle that closed yesterday. However, as at this moment, we can see a retracement. But I believe what is happening is price is trying to retest the neckline and it's still going to fall downwards. It's still going to fall downwards, except people like Donald Trump decide to, come up with something that will affect the market generally, except that. But from all angle I'm seeing technically, this instrument is ready to go down. Now, when I say ready to go down, I did not say place a sell trade. Please take note that cryptos can be very volatile, especially BTC. So all I've analyzed so far is on the daily time frame. You can see the sharp retracement that has been experienced so far. Now, if you want to trade this, this is still on the daily time frame. It's touching the recent support on resistance on the 1 hour. Now, if you want to trade this, it may go down to 15 minutes time frame. And 15 minutes is even looking big for this, maybe 5 minutes time frame. All right, let's go. 5 minutes seems to work for this. Now, for those who know me, I really don't go as low as this, but this is BTC. It's more volatile than currency. So what I can advise you to do is, it also means you have to watch this closely because of the short time frame involved here. If price breaks out below this lower trend line, you can trigger a sell. Also confirm that your RSI at that point is clearly below 50, clearly below 50. Then you can trigger a sell on BTC USD. And the potential, okay, you can see now there's even a confluence around this place. The Fibonacci 23.6 is coinciding with that circle that I just drew. All right. So if you're able to trigger a sell from that region, then you can target the next Fibonacci level, which is Fibonacci 38.2 as your take profit level. And that can give you as much as like 40 pips, followed by Fibonacci 50, which can give as much as 71 pips. So there's a potential for a sell, but like I said, wait for the right conditions, as I've mentioned right here, on BTC USD. That is the first possible scenario. The second possible scenario, if price breaks out above this 5 minutes, this support turn resistance, which I showed you on the 5 minutes, we may also have price go up to the main neckline region, which is around this area. This one is a stronger level. The price breaks the 5 minutes there, it may not break this one. It might really experience a reversal. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, that area on the 5 minutes is actually the neckline. All right, I think that's the normal. But then price could still break it upwards, whichever one that breaks out first. If it breaks above this one and proceeds to the next one, we may still expect a reversal. But if you want to trade this with the peace of mind that is required, then you may want to wait for price to reverse downwards and break out below the daily candle of yesterday. Yes, this one will give much more peace of mind. Let me put it that way. Because what is happening currently is a retracement. If price breaks out below the low of yesterday, it will move down smoothly, much more than the one we are trying to do a scalp for. All right, so that's my outlook on BTC USD. So I've analyzed BTC USD, I've analyzed gold. I think there's a GBP JPY. Yeah, GBP JPY is the next one. Now, I've held the bearish outlook on GBP JPY the whole week, and it's a valid analysis, but then we don't control the market. The market seems not to be going in that direction. If you follow my analysis, that's what is if a particular currency pair is not going in your direction, pick another one. But don't say because you analyze bearish is going bullish, so let me just quickly enter a buy. No, you don't go against your analysis. So I don't go against mine. Now, from my early analysis, for those who have been a part of this since Monday, I said that I'm expecting the bearish movement on on GVJPY this week, largely because of the resistance, rejection candles on the weekly time frame and the descending trend line on the weekly. So technically, we should be looking for a bearish movement. I say, however, the week has seen more of a bullish movement on GVJPY, but price is still trading within that, resistance zone. So anything can still happen. It can still reverse. And if it doesn't reverse, well, wait for the next week. So for now, I'm still bearish regardless of what is happening in the market, though entry is not really clear at the moment. We may just have to ignore it and move on. Check another pair that's currently low. Give me the analysis on the dollar today. If one instrument is not going your way, then pick another one. Don't get stuck on one. Okay, I think I'm seeing something on 30 minutes. It looks like it's trying to give us a head and shoulder. All right, I think it's trying to it's trying to get ready for a reversal. All right, so if it's giving us a head and shoulder, we can draw the neckline. And if price is able to break out below this level, maybe in the course of today, yeah, we'll see a bearish movement. But then don't forget today's NFP. NFP can cut across all pairs. So if you're picking a trade before NFP, I would advise you can close before NFP, the better. Because most of NFP cuts across all the markets, all the currencies. It can affect the reaction we can determine. For some who might be lucky, it may push your running trade into profit. And for some, it may push it to a loss. So if you have a trade that you cannot close, make sure there is a stop loss in place because you can't determine the outcome of those particular trades when NFP is released. The one we can just talk more about are the ones we give, the signal we give before the NFP, because those are the ones we are trading for the NFP. But all your running trade before that time, just make sure you have a stop loss in place. Even the one we're going to give you signal on, there's still going to be stop loss on it. But if it's possible not to enter a trade some hours before NFP, please don't bother. Stay away and wait for the signal. All right, that'll be all from my end this morning. I believe you've enjoyed this analysis and it's, been a guide to help you navigate the market in the course of today. We'll see by 1:15 p.m. in the afternoon. Do enjoy your holidays. But also don't forget to join us. Those of you because you're enjoying all the day, maybe you're watching movies or you're doing one thing or another, you forgot to be a part of the live session in the afternoon. Just put it in mind to be a part of the analysis and the signal session for the live trading in the afternoon by 1:15 p.m. All right, we'll see you then. Take care and bye bye for now.